What's up, YouTube? Capital G here, DN Duel Commentary. We have Hop at the top, 1487, Firedog at the bottom, 1005. You're going to be seeing a lot more of me commentating matches, mainly because ever since I got into like the top 5 on DN ranked, it literally takes me about 10 minutes to get a game, and it's like too much shit to really go through to just sit there for that long to try and find games. Alright, so it looks like Hop is playing Thunder Family. I think I recorded one of his matches earlier, but he did something so obnoxiously stupid, I ended up not even uploading it just because, and I don't like to criticize people, he just played awful. And I was like, I'm not even going to upload that. Alright, so you see he opens with Mod Thunder and then goes into Giraffe. A play that he didn't do at all in the last game, and I was wondering, like, this is one of the best ways to actually use this deck. And you see just an incredible play there. That was amazing. You see he runs over Abyss Linde, and the thing is, Giraffe makes it so effects don't trigger until the end of the turn, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, until the end phase, your opponent, as long as this guy goes, your opponent cannot activate any effects, whether that be monster effects, spells, traps, whatever. So you see he runs over Linde, but it's not going to get an effect, and I don't think he understands that. I don't think Firedog does, and he's going to find out very shortly that that Linde just goes to the graveyard for nothing, and he won't be able to use this either. If this happens to be Abyss Sphere, he can't use that anyway. So Giraffe is essentially the way that it lets you go into your Xyz without having to worry. I actually played a Thunder Family deck, and I struggled against it because, you know, my Boojins, I have hair, and I've got, you know, I've got hair and turtle, and my shit kept getting 101 because I couldn't use any of my effects. Like, you know what I mean? I play Royal Decree, so clearly I don't have a bunch of ways to stop attacks. So you see Firedog fires back by pitching Marksman and Turge to summon Megalo, and I'm wondering if that's going to go through. So he activates the Hop is asking for the target for Marksman, and ouch, that kind of sucks. It happens to be bottomless, which he uses on the Megalo. Now Megalo's effect will still trigger, and I guess that can get him either Abyss Spear or Abyss Squall. He goes for the obligatory Abyss Spear, and Megalo is going to get banished. And I wonder what is going to happen post that. You'd have to wonder if maybe he has a Soul Charge in him. He has Salvage. Okay, Salvage is a pretty good play. He still does have that normal summon. I mean, he could go Turge. Okay, well, he goes Linde and Marksman. I was thinking maybe he would go Turge and Marksman and then put Linde in his hand. But it looks like he's going to go the route of summoning Linde, trying to run something over. He attacks Giraffe. Giraffe dies. And he just sets one and passes turn. Okay, play goes back to Hop, and Hop has another Giraffe. Wait, I don't understand why he didn't attack directly. And then, okay, well, I guess whatever. He goes into Abyss Dweller, and Linde just dies. I thought he would attack with Giraffe, and then, well, you know what? Yeah, he couldn't get over Linde with the Mod Thunder's 1400 attack. He made the right play. Okay, my mistake. He made the right play. Alright, so you see he dualities for Book of Moon, Mind Crush, and Darkhold. Mind Crush is obviously the best play there, because if your opponent tries to special summon a Megalo or an Abyssius, you can just Mind Crush it. So you see Firedog attacks. I don't even believe that that's a Linde, to be honest. Okay, it was a Linde. Huh, that shut me up. You see Hop is clearly playing this deck better than I would have. Alright, so Dweller has essentially paid for itself. If Dweller dies at this point, you can't ask your deck to do more than what it just did. You can't ask Dweller to do more, because Dweller did just kill 2 Lindes back to back. So, you know, as far as I'm concerned, Dweller served its purpose. You see that Firedog does flip over the Abyss Sphere, the one I believe that is not the one that he got from Megalo. I think that this is the spear he got from Megalo. I could be wrong about that. A couple of turns ago, he goes into Abyss lead, and if I'm Hop, I'm cool with that, because if any of these back rows are anything important, that shit's just gonna die. Like, literally all you have to do is just pass turn and that dies. You see that Hop goes for Soul Charge. And thank you, somebody who actually plays the card how it's supposed to be played. Look, guys, when you Soul Charge, you don't go for 2 cards. You go for every fucking thing in your graveyard. It doesn't matter if you have, like, you only start caring once you have 800 or less. That's the only time you should essentially care, because then you can be cowboyed for game, or I guess 1,000 because you can be blackcorned for game. But what he just did, where he paid 4,000, that's how you have to play. And I thought that was it. I thought that that was the spear that he said. This spear is when he had turn 1. So Abyss lead dies, and I'm looking at Hop's field. He just did a very impressive job. Not only does he have an M7 on board, but he has a Constellar Omega as well. So yeah, Spear should actually, and yeah, I see what's happening here. Spear should actually, he used Wiretap, so Spear should actually go back to the deck, and then the card that he drew should not be the card. So I get what he's saying. He used Wiretap on the second Spear, by the way. But I really like what Hop did there with the Soul Charge, getting back all 4 monsters. I'm not 100% sure that these are the 2 that I would have made. I definitely would have made M7. You see that he summons Marksman, and I'd have to suspect maybe, yeah, a rank 3 XC. Another Marksman comes down. The problem is, it's like, what rank 3 XC could you go into? I mean, you could go into Leviathan Dragon and just hope that you get to pop something. He goes into Ghost Trick Alicord. I don't understand how that was better than Leviathan Dragon, honestly. Because Ghost Trick Alicord was just going to get run over. At least with Leviathan Dragon, you could have popped it and then it would have been able to, or you could have used this effect. It would have been 2,500 and it would have popped something anyway. As you see, Fire Dog does play the Soul Charge, but he gets warninged. And I mean, I like the way he did that move. I don't like the Alicord over the I don't like Alicord over Leviathan Dragon in that situation. But you almost have to wonder if Mermail still play Leviathan Dragon. I guess that could be the reason he didn't summon that card. But I'm looking at this match. I think that Hop played the entire game beautifully. That is one of the most impressive games that I have seen someone play with Thunder Family in a very long time. So big ups to you, Hop. You played that game pretty much flawlessly. I love seeing Thunder Family rock and roll. And Fire Dog, he played okay. I mean, for the most part, Hop was just on his game. I mean, he made the Dwellers. You know, he had answers for all the Lindies. He killed 3 Lindies. He had answers for the Abyss Spears. I wasn't crazy when he used Abyss Spear just to attack over a Dweller that didn't have a material on it. I didn't like that. And as you see, Fire Dog opens up with Pike, and he pitches Turge, and Hop again playing very smart. When your opponent summons Pike in as their initial play, and they don't discard a Dragoons, they discard something that, you know, doesn't actually plus when it hits the graveyard, you usually should Valor it. And you see Hop goes, what was that? I think that was, yeah, he goes Pot Thunder into Watt Giraffe, and he goes straight into M7. That was very, very nice. And that makes the most sense because you can't make any more advantage than what he just made. I mean, like, against just a straight Mermail play, it's not like you can really make any advantage. However, that was unfortunate. You can still end up losing your monster to a heavy infantry. Now, he does hit him with Valor again, so he is going neg, but Fire Dog isn't actually advancing the game state. Like, he's not getting anywhere with these Pike summons. Like, he did that turn because he had heavy infantry and he ended up taking down a monster, but he's not searching his deck out. He's not getting where he wants to go. And now you see he throws down Ma and Sis, and he goes for Daigusto Emerald, which is that's a pretty good play because he essentially gets to go, well, he's actually going to go plus a lot during this turn. You see that he's starting to put the M7 back, and he puts Omega back so that he could do that play later in the game, plus a Valor. So he's going to get the draw card, which means he already recovered some. And then during the end phase, he's going to get Pot Thunder back as well. So this was a great recovery play, especially because he was able to get over Pike. So all of those Valors that he used where he had to, you know, take those negs, he kind of recovered them all back. Now, it is unfortunate that Fire Dog busts open the game with Soul Charge because it's just an incredibly unfair card. But I still like the way that Hop is playing right now. Now Fire Dog should go for, I believe he has, yeah, he's got 2 pikes and a Turgeon there. So if I'm thinking you should definitely go 101. I don't want to leave the Daigusto Emerald on board, and as nice as the Bahamut Shark play is, I'd go 101. Now I thought he had more monsters in there. Didn't he have more monsters? He chooses to only go 2. He discards a Megalo. Yeah, I thought he had 2 pikes in there. Now, again, this is what I don't like when people do. If you have monsters in the graveyard, stop being concerned about life points. They are not going to win you the duel. Having multiple monsters on board will win you the duel because it expands your XC options. It expands what you can do. You know, don't leave. There are many times where I get fucking Effect Veiler out of my graveyard just because I can. I've actually won games because of that. And it will be like the last thing, and I'm like, fuck it, I'm getting Effect Veiler too. I have no use for this card, but I'm still gonna get it. Now you see that Fire Dog searches out Undyne. He pitched Megalo out of his graveyard, and Soul Charge is it's one of those cards where you just kind of have to hope your opponent doesn't have it. And it doesn't look like Hop is actually drawn any of his side deck. I mean, you could argue that the Veilers were in the main deck. I mean, he hasn't drawn Maxi or Soul Drain yet, so I mean, we can't really definitively say that he's drawn out of his extra deck, or excuse me, that he's drawn out of his sideboard. Now, again, I think that the 101 play makes a little more sense than going Bahamut Shark. You know, I mean, yes, you can essentially kill Daigusto Emerald with you can kill it using your Undyne, but then that means that you have to end up dropping what do you call that guy? You have to drop heavy infantry into the graveyard instead of dragoons. And that's what he does. He goes for the 101 play. And you know what? Heck, he had a what's it called in there? He had a heavy infantry in there too. He could have summoned back 4. I will never understand why he didn't do that. I mean, he only went for half of the monsters. Like, you essentially Soul Charge just to use 101. Like, that's okay. I'm just gonna say I don't agree with that play. I'm not gonna go into it any further. All right, so I would assume now he's gonna dump dragoons because you already have. He goes for title instead. Okay. And he had Genesis Controller. I guess he wants the ability to go into Leo. I mean, that does make sense. You know, that's one of the good things about that card is it essentially does give you the ability to make Leo. And you see he Dark Holes. And 101 is going to go down. He goes Pa and Pa and Ma Thunder. And now he's going to go for a rank 4. And Dweller comes down. So at the very least, Dweller can stop Title from coming out. Good grief! He has another Soul Charge. That's just man, you can't beat that. And you see that Hop just scoops it up. Now, if I'm Hop, you gotta get some Maxis in here, bro. If you're not getting Maxis, you gotta get Vanities in here. Quite frankly, I love Vanity's Emptiness. I like it way more because I play Boojins. There are way too many people who try and splash Vanity's Emptiness into their decks, and it doesn't work out nearly as good as Boojins. The reason it works so well in Boojins is because, number one, you just don't really need to use... You don't need to really put, like... Yamato essentially can dump shit in the graveyard without it ever having to hit the field. And then number two, you can play it alongside Royal Decree, so like you can turn it off whenever you want without it actually, you know, being destroyed. And then if your Royal Decree gets blown up, then your Vanity's Emptiness obviously turns back on. You know, but just Boojins have so many different ways to protect themselves without having to rely on using cards to hit the graveyard. Like, so much shit activates from the hand or the graveyard. Alright, so to the duel. Hop opens up with 2 cards in his back row. Fire Dog plays a Lindy and then a back row card. Hop plays 2 more in his back row and passes back. You're seeing that Fire Dog is now going into Lindy beatdown mode. And he's just going to set another card. Hop has to start doing something here. Otherwise, he's just going to lose to a Lindy beatdown. He summons Pot Thunder. He's asking Fire Dog if it's okay to use this effect. Anytime people do that to me, I always say, you know, I ask them if they want to use, like, it's your card. Why are you asking me if you can use your effect? You see that he goes for the Blind Fire MSC. Hopefully that isn't Abyss Spear, which of course it is. and that sucks. But he wisely chooses to use his Max C, and I like the Max C here just because your opponent is probably they can't, like, let's see, if they go for Lindy, you can just run that Lindy over and it won't get its effect, and then you could essentially, like, he has ways to counter this. I guess that's what I'm saying. Especially when he has 4 back rows and he's going to be drawing cards. Now he goes for Pike. And he pitches Heavy Infantry, but he debunks it. And he won't have to worry about losing one of his monsters. He goes into an Xyz, which is Abyss Dweller. That falls into a bottomless. I don't know if I would have Xyz'd there. My opponent is already under Max C, so I'm pretty sure I just would have ran Lindy over and seen if I could have drawn extra cards from it. I wouldn't have Xyz'd at all. I just would have just left my 2 monsters on board. Fire Dog, Hop passes the Fire Dog. You see that he summons Osha. Unfortunately for him, Osha gets hit by a Phoenix Chain. Sets 1 in his back row and passes back to Hop. Hop activates Thunder Seahorse. It's probably going to get him a couple copies of like Pot Thunder. Maybe Sis Thunder, yeah. Sis Thunder because he can go plus with Sis Thunder by removing like a Pot Thunder. He removes a Pot Thunder and he just adds it during the end phase. Now the problem is he couldn't get over that Osha. So, I mean, it's like you really don't want to leave Osha on board for too many turns or too many games. Excuse me, too many turns. And you see that it looks like he's trying to activate Abyssius' effect. Unfortunately, Abyssius is going to get Mind Crush, so that thing's never going to hit the field. And it's really good because he didn't discard any Mermail that could actually trigger. And he does happen to have Soul Charge again. And Fire Dog has Soul Charge every time he needs it. So you see Hop just has to kind of sit there and suck it up. And this is probably where he should have saved. If he would have had like the Torrential right there, I mean, it just would have done, it would have put him for some serious work. Now, I would imagine here you're going to go, well, he only does 2,000 for some reason. Yeah, I'm thinking that you're going for Abyss Gios. Again, maybe Fire Dog doesn't know he can go for more than 2 monsters because that's all he tends to go for. And when I see most people use Soul Charge, they go for as many as possible. Especially if you're not under 1,000, I don't really see the problem. So he brings out Dracosac in defense mode. He detaches Title. I would have made Gios. I feel like Gios just, it beats. Not only does it beat this, but it beats the known card your opponent has in hand. I mean, yeah, sure, you can pop shit all you want, but I mean, Gios is just a fucking hard-ass card to deal with. Alright, so he pops the Phoenix Chain, and it looks like he's going to be able to use Osha now. And he's probably going to get Lindy and just run over Sis Thunder. Nope, he puts it in defense mode. Does it have to go in defense mode? Nope. You can put it in attack mode and just crash, I guess. But he chooses not to. And I guess he's trying to make his field as hard as possible to crack. I mean, let's see. Let's count some cards here and maybe look at see if we have a Exciton Knight playing us. He's got 5 on this side, 4 if he exceeds, versus 4 on this side. So no Exciton Knight play for him. And he's looking at his extra deck. He did summon that second Sis Thunder. And he attacks the token. Goes into main phase 2. He can actually exceed into something that'll kill Dracosac. Maybe. Okay, so he goes into Starliege. Starliege puts Dracosac at 0 attack. I don't run Starliege in my deck, so I don't know if it's until the end phase. Target one face-up monster your opponent controls, his attack becomes 0 and its effects are negated. Wow, that's pretty good. I didn't know it negated effects. I just thought that it put monsters at 0. Wow, I'm about to take out what is that card? Armadas. I'm about to take out Armadas and start running Starliege again. I just thought that Starliege just took your opponent's attack to 0 and then when it died you drew a card. So yeah, definitely gonna run Starliege for I mean, it's probably not something I'll summon that often. Like, maybe if I have like, well, no. I'm trying to think of when I would ever summon this. I'm trying to think of when I would ever summon this instead of using Susanoo. And I think when my opponent has Zombie World up, I would rather go into this instead of Susanoo. That's about the only time I can actually think of when I would summon this. The problem is usually if my opponent has Zombie World, I'm like so far back that the only way for me to go into an Exceed is with Bujin Carnation. But now that Soul Drain's out, I guess that or Soul Charge is out, that does change things. So yeah, you know, usually I was gonna say if I use Bujin Carnation, I have to go into a Beast Warrior, which this card is a Warrior. So, but yeah, this is not a bad card. So you see, he tries to activate Title, and that gets debunked. So that's banished permanently. Yep. And now Firedog is just sitting on Mermail, Abyss Lindy, and Mechaphantom Beast Dracosack. So as this game, this should be a blowout, really. Like, Hop is really playing well because when you look at all the power cards, I mean, granted, Hop is drawing some pretty nice counters, like, you know, debunks and shit like that. But when you look at the soul charges and stuff like that, getting Dracosack on board, this game should be a blowout. But the fact that he's still in it, I mean, I think it's impressive even if he does lose this game. You know, this Dracosack is sitting at 0 attack, 0 defense. Let me just see. Let me read this guy again. Target. Its effects. Its effects are negated. So it doesn't actually stop it from activating its effect. It just stops it from its effect actually resolving. Now you see that he drew the card from Starleash being run over by Abyss Lead. He summons Pot Thunder, and then he summons Mott Thunder, and it looks like we're going to Exceed up. And I'm thinking 101 for this guy, and then you attack this guy. And it looks like he just heard me because that's exactly what he did. He went 101, and then he's going to run over Dracosack. Whoa, why didn't you attack Dracosack? Wait. Oh, okay, it must just be why Starleash is on the field or something like that, that he wouldn't attack the Dracosack. Or it must just be, yeah, its attack goes to 0, but I guess its defense does not. Either way, I agree with the play. I agree that he should have just went the He should have just went 101. You see that now he activates Thunder Seahorse, and I'm thinking he's going Sis Thunder. Nope, he goes Watt Giraffe. He normal summons Watt Giraffe, and it looks like he's going to, yeah, I'm like, how do you put it in defense mode? He attacks directly, and he just passes turn. And it looks like this could be a Watt Giraffe beatdown, especially if your opponent can't somehow stop Watt Giraffe. I mean, Watt Giraffe it's an annoying card. So you see, we see an MST come down on Hop's back row, which happens to be a bottomless. But what can you counter, or what can you come up with outside of that? He has Abysseus, which is going to pitch whatever his other card is, and he responds with Max Seed. That was really smart, because you have to think, he's only getting one card with Abysseus. So I'm thinking maybe he's going to get Osha or something like that, because it's kind of like the only Mermail card that works without you having a monster in hand. Okay, well, he gets Lindy. That works too. But he doesn't get anything out of what he discarded. You know, granted, Hop can go and he can attack the Watt Giraffe. The problem is he has another Watt Giraffe in hand. So what's stopping him from summoning Watt Giraffe, attacking directly, and then 101 attacking this? And then you basically just lose your Lindy. So it's like you didn't actually achieve anything, Firedog, because you just lost your Lindy for nothing. I guess he pseudo locked them down with Hop. I mean, with I guess he kind of pseudo locked them down with the Watt Giraffe in hand. And I guess you can't blame Firedog, because if he would have set the Lindy, the same thing would have happened. Now you see he summons Pike. I guess he just wants to keep killing those Watt Giraffes. The problem is, I mean, all he has to do is just keep attacking whatever he attacks Watt Giraffe with 101. Ooh, and I guess Payback is a serious bitch. And I love what he just did there. He goes 3,000. I don't know about getting Starleash here, because I'd rather get extra deck monsters. He goes for Torrential Tribute. Everything dies. No, wait. Does Starleash have to have materials? Because if Starleash doesn't, he will draw one. Oh, yeah, I guess it doesn't. So, okay, okay, man, Hop, you're on it, bro. You know, I'm not trying to dick ride or no shit, but damn. He says that I guess that he was reading the face down as torrential, and that's why he went into Star Liege. And yeah, Star Liege doesn't need any material, so he ends up drawing one on the torrential as well as keeping his honor arc. And it looks like that's game. And I've got to say, very, very impressive game. This was just really entertaining, guys. Thank you for watching as always. Really good game here.